Hey everyone, welcome to France. Today we are on the Crazybait Qualifier at the Doy Carpodrome. We came over on Thursday night over on the ferry, and then yesterday the plan was to have a nice little practice at the venue, but that was a bit of a write-off. The weather was atrocious, wind, rain, 6 degrees. I caught a sickness bug on the ferry, so I spent most of the time in the hotel, but feeling a lot better today. I've drawn peg 25 on one of the lakes here. Not really sure exactly how to go, but we're going to just try and keep it simple. We've got about 8 to 12 foot on both lines. We're going to try and fish it with a bit of micros and some dead maggots, and try and ping some pellets and some corn. So let's see how we get on.
What are you thinking then, Matt? Look puzzled.
Well, I'm a bit confused with all this pre-baiting, 10-minute pre-baiting. Just trying to watch what everyone else is doing at the minute, but it's a little bit hard to get any information off anyone.
Yeah, we've noticed that even with their bait, they were very secretive, like pulling it out of the van the last minute.
Yeah, which to be fair is what competitions is all about, isn't it? So we've put a bit of bait in, I can see a bit of blow already, so hopefully there'll be some fish there. But
what's your approach going to be?
Well, the bit of information we have had is start short and then they work their way out. So it's going to be pretty much like we do at home anyway. Maybe start short on a bit of corn.
Yeah. Then work out.
Yeah, work out.
Play it as well.
Yeah, play it by ear. They fish a lot of micros there. They don't wet them down as much as us. So
yeah, we just watched someone do it. He's literally just shown his micros the water, and then
just it's a weird one considering it's like 10-11 foot deep, long. They're fishing paste as well. I see a few of them fishing, look like they're going to be fishing paste, which it's still cold, still April, but hopefully we won't get hammered too much. It's an experience, that's the main thing.
It's good to come over here with a different approach and see what we do in the UK, if it actually works.
Yeah, like
here.
Like I've come over thinking, you know, it's going to be pretty similar to what we do back at home, but whether that's the case or not, we'll find out, I guess. The good thing is we come over with another lad, he's drawn the other lake, so it'd be interesting to see if we both get battered, really. So
yeah, I'll go down and have a chat with Paul in a bit.
Yeah, no worries. Good luck.
That's the all in. Right, it's 1:30, Matt. How are you getting on?
Yeah, right, it started off a bit slow. Was obviously told to start short, work your way out because they back off, especially with only being a 13-metre limit. You know, your options are a bit limited, especially when there's fish topping in the middle. Didn't have a bite to start off with short.
Yeah, it was quite a quiet start, wasn't it? And I think...
Yeah, and then you start questioning whether you're doing it right, etc. like that. And then the lad to my right on the MPEG, he started off quite well, fishing, looked like corn and micros long. I did one line corn and micros, didn't have a bite on it, and I've done like a 4mm pellet line with an expander, and I end up catching probably 7 or 8 quite quick on that. And then I've just started missing a bite since foul working a couple, So I reckon they might be coming up shallow. Obviously it is like 11 or 12 foot deep, so it's going to be a deep shallow rig, probably about 5 or 6 foot I start off on. But just going to give it a couple more minutes on this because we are getting bites.
Yeah, you're getting odd fish on this, aren't you? And it's like, there's not a lot of people on the lake actually catching anything.
No, it's quite hard. It's quite nice fishing actually. You know, I know it's deeper than a lot of our venues. It's probably a bit like fishing the high bank at Whiteacres really on Pollowin. You know, you're fishing little kinder pots, trying to see what you can catch on the deck, and then hopefully trying to get them up if you can. But I don't think, I wouldn't have said there's a lot of fish in here. There might be, but you know, you'd be expecting a few more people to be catching.
Yeah, well, they catch about £90 in the matches, didn't they, really?
Yeah.
90 to £100, so it's not...
Oh,
hello.
Hello. Hopefully this one will stay on. So yeah, it's nice because when you do get a bite, it is quite positive. I would say I'm doing all right at the minute.
I've had a walk around and there's a couple of people catching, but it's not... No one's running away with it, I don't think, so...
No.
All playful, kind of.
Yeah, like I probably would say I've got pushing 20 odd pound maybe. I'm just hoping they will be a bit like the UK where they will come in shorter. I've done a line up the shelf, you know, where it starts shallowing, and then I've done an edge rig, but whether that's going to be good, about 3 foot down the edge. They're nice size fish as well, they're not massive.
Yeah, it's manageable, isn't it?
Just hopefully we get this one in. It's just nice being abroad and, you know, fishing a different venue, fishing different sort of styles. Well, it's not really styles, but taking on the locals.
Yeah, there's a couple of people fishing paste and other methods, isn't there?
Yeah. It's just quite awkward in this depth of water. You've got to fish a little bit heavier elastics. Because it's quite small, you don't want to be fishing it too stiff. Don't know if this feels a bit foul-icky maybe. No, it's not. Just a
bit bigger mirror.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. They're all pretty much like this sort of standard size.
Yeah, like 3.5, 4 pound job, isn't it?
Yeah. Right in the top lip. If I can get it up, show you. You know, beautiful little mirror. A nice French mirror. Right, yeah, so all we're doing is putting a few fours and some micros capping it off. Fishing 6mm super expander by Sensas and catching that way. A few 4mm, a few soaked micros. Pretty standard stuff for the UK side anyway. Just hopefully there'll be a few fish, and as it gets later it'll be a bit like home where it will just improve.
What you were saying on the way over though, Matt, I can't understand why more people don't come over and fish this, because it's probably a cheaper option than going to Ireland or to Holland.
Yeah,
if you are going to go abroad and fish.
I think one of the issues is as you've probably seen at the start. Well, missed another bite. It's quite a social event. You know, they had teas, coffees, cake for us to start off with. You know, didn't have to pay for anything.
I've never been to a match where there was snacks out for you at the start before the draw.
But snacks, everyone was polite. They all wanted us to come and speak to you. Obviously,
my French is terrible. Yours is a little bit better, but
mine's terrible. But you know, they come and shake your hand. They shake everyone else's hand. It's just a nice atmosphere. You know, I'm not saying the English match scene is a bit, well, it's not social, but
it's taken very seriously.
Yeah, it's taken a bit more seriously than it should do, especially for what money and, you know, the bigger matches I understand, but like these sort of matches, it seems to be they're getting a bit windy. They take it as a day out, and that's the main thing. Like, we've come here, yeah, it'd be nice to do well and catch a few, but it's just an experience. And like you say, we got the ferry over, then it's about a 2.5 hour drive here, and then tomorrow we're going to drive, or tonight we're going to drive up to Chartres, which is roughly where the Sensas Factory is. We're going to stay over there, and then we're going to do some filming on the Sensas lakes. So, you know, it's an experience.
There's loads of venues though. Like, we were driving down, like there's lakes everywhere, little commercials everywhere. It's massive for this part of the country. Yeah,
I just also do think, I think the language barrier is there. I don't, you know, we went into...
All right, though. Me and Paul have just been pointing at things in the shop, and you seem to get by doing that.
Yeah, you know, that little shop we went in yesterday, it's, you try and get a bit more information, and it's only like 3 miles down the road from here, and he didn't even know where the lake was. You know, or he didn't want to tell us where the lake was.
I think he didn't want to tell us.
Yeah. But yeah, I think people should definitely come over, and if Sensas, you know, they've asked or suggested that we should maybe try and run some qualifiers back home for, you know, the final of this that we're fishing in, you know, run a north and south qualifier and then bring it over.
Yeah, 'cause, like, we were talking to the French on the Sensas Challenge, and they come over all the time, and you don't really hear of anyone going back the other way to fish any of their matches, so it'd be a good concept.
Well, over here it's more about prestige, isn't it? It's trophies, it's fishing for your country. You know, I think the final of this, I think it's only 2 or 3 grand for the winner, which is obviously, compared to fish show, match this and that, it's pittance really, but it's the prestige of winning that for them over here. And if we can do a qualifier where we can get 2 English lads over every year, and hopefully it will push them on a bit more as well, and then maybe the money will rise over as well, and then it will turn into...
It's a nice holiday as well though, isn't it?
Well, apart from the weather. I was hoping it was going to be a bit warmer than this.
Maybe come over later next time.
Yeah, we'll do like Des did when he went to Belgium, go when it's 30 degrees.
Yeah, eating couscous.
Yeah, I might try some couscous in a minute.
Shallow on couscous, I think, today.
But the wind just keeps changing as well, which, you know, 1 minute it's left to right, 1 minute it's off our back, then it's blowing into us.
Yeah, it's challenging, isn't it?
But it's enjoyable, you know. I don't enjoy going somewhere to try and catch £500-600 catching on a top kit. It's quite nice to try and work out a venue.
Yeah, especially when you've never even you don't know any information about it. You've literally rocked up at a match. No one speaks English, and just fished. Yeah. You know, I think that was one of the points in this sort of video, is that we could just turn up. Oh, definitely chalet. Miss bites all day.
Yeah, miss bites all day. I definitely reckon they're coming chalet. Yeah, just turn up, fish how we do back home, and try and compete.
Yeah. I tried to be a bit sneaky and have a walk around today and just see what they do differently, and like the fact they don't really wet their micros down, they don't, you know, people they're quite secretive, but I understand it before a match.
Yeah, well,
But
I don't know whether it's right, whether that's, I'm wetting the micros down like we do.
yeah.
If that's right or not, I don't know, but that might be why I'm missing some bites now, but it's a good sign that there's fish there. So obviously we can put a shallow rig on and hopefully do the same thing, and they might actually come shallow over micros, which I know is a bit weird. But it's just that awkward sort of depth.
Between like top 4, top 5, aren't you?
Yeah. But like you said, there's not many people catching. Not many people getting bites.
I've seen a couple of people get off their box, leave their pole on the bump bar. They're pretty confident they're not going to catch, I think.
Yeah. Well.
It is more of a social thing. This seems to be just like a nice day out for them. Everyone is friendly.
Well, there's a little junior match on one of the other lakes, and it's quite nice to see. It is a proper day out.
Yeah.
We had 2.5 hours to set up. Most people will set up with 45 minutes to go, and they all meet up, have a coffee and a chat, and a bit more cake. Oh.
And miss bites all day.
And swear and spikes all day. I will work one in a minute.
Yeah, that's shallow rig on.
What would Des Ship do in this situation?
He wouldn't moan.
He'd be moaning, wouldn't he? Yeah.
He wouldn't moan, I don't think. We'll go down and see how Paul's getting on. He did ask me if I could bring him his reading glasses because he was struggling to see the bites, and I completely forgot.
Yeah, you want to go and do that?
Paul's he's had one carp when I went to see him about half an hour ago. But the other lake seems to be fishing a lot harder.
Well, when we walked around it, we didn't really want to be on there, did we? Because it's quite weedy in the edges.
Yeah.
The colour, there wasn't so much colour in it. But it's just, well, as I keep saying, it's just enjoyable. Like, if you'd saw what I was like, yesterday. Yeah.
I didn't film Matt, but he's had a really bad stomach. And at one point when we were driving down, holding a bowl for him whilst being sick.
While driving.
Wasn't ideal, but he's proper soldiered through and come out the other end. I did not think he was going to fish today. But.
Well, yeah, I was a bit worried that we were going to mess the whole trip up. But 16 hours in the hotel bed has hopefully got me up to 85%.
And he's back in.
I'm back in. Maybe that's why I'm missing bites. I'm just not that.
Not 100%.
Not 100%.
If you framed today, you've done well there, because I thought we were going to have to go home early.
No. Us Southerners, we're hard as nails.
I like the Welsh.
Yeah. There's no moaning either. The lads ain't catching, and well, unless they're moaning in French, but
yeah, they're quite quiet though. I think everyone.
Well, they take it serious, don't they?
Yeah. It's all social. Then the match starts, and then the fights all day.
I'm gonna put the shallow rig on now.
Definitely. That's the thing. It's like we're completely, like we really got a clue what these lakes fish like. You could catch shallow. And I've seen a couple of people trying it, but they're fishing maggot.
Is that what they're doing, maggot, is it?
Yeah. What's that, about 5 foot?
Yeah, 4.5, 5, yeah, something like that. Blow out there, see? Wouldn't it be nice if this just goes straight under? Probably overshot it.
Yeah, pull the elastic job out. Like. It might just be that weird depth where the pressure's changed and they don't really want to be on the deck. They don't want to be mid-water.
thing is, like you say, no one's catching who's fishing shallow, so it's one of those. It's like take a shot off, I think. Try slapping, shall we?
Ensuite, Matt Parsons 7ème avec 16 960. Bravo. Oui. Merci à vous. Merci d'être venu. Ensuite, week-end, Victor Chambon 13 280. Michel Ribertou fait 9 14 860.
I don't know where you've come. It looks like a 1. 7.
Philippe Bourgeon 10ème avec 12 060. Là, ensuite, on a
Wine's come out.
You know.
Well, it's gone okay. The problem is the last hour and a half I've probably only put one fish in the net. The wind's just got up.
Yeah,
It started
really
towing
hard to present
bad.
as well, isn't it?
The bloke to my left, he's had one fish all day. But the lad fished quite a good match next to me on the MPEG with the wind blowing down. He's had 34 kilo. I've weighed 17, so he's doubled me, been proper bashed up.
But look, he's had all that room down there.
Yeah,
so
he's caught towards the tree in the corner. But you can obviously only fish 13 metres, but yeah, he's probably put 15 kilo in the net the last hour and a bit, when I've had, not a lot. But it's been good fun.
what would you have done differently in hindsight now fishing it?
Well, obviously they tell you to start short and work your way out. Well, I wouldn't have said a single angler has fished nearer than 10 metres. So
most of them stayed 13 all day, haven't they? Yeah.
I started off at 6. I've had one there actually in the end, but I should have just done a 10 or 11 metre line and 2 13s and just stuck at it like that. But it's quite weird when all you want to do is put a 14 and a 16.5 metre section on to go that little bit further if you can hold the pole, because there was definitely fish, coming in and out. But yeah, it's been fun. I feel better, so that's a bonus as well.
You survived.
Yeah, I survived. Hopefully you or Paul don't get it, so it's all good fun. But yeah, it's definitely worth coming. If anyone can get over here, try one of their matches, come and see what it's like on the continent.